We're online.
Oh, we're online. Hi, everybody.
Hi. All right. Hello, this is Kiersten with Fox Pointe Publishing, and we were finishing listening to Katie. She was on a great story. We'll have to hear more about that. But anyway, Kiersten with Facebook. Oh my gosh. Fox Pointe Publishing. It's been a day. And we're here for Fox Talk, and Joanne's on. Hi, Joanne. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good, good. Anyway, all right. People we are missing. AJ, she is not going to be on tonight because she's not feeling so good. She's thinking she may have picked up. Well, she's fine. I mean, she's not, the big C word or anything like that. But
it's always the first thought. It's always the first thought.
Oh, yeah. She already went through that thought. No, what she's thinking is she may have picked up some type of bug from her grandkids. And we can't blame it on the grandkids. We can't pass off the responsibility and the accountability. But anyone who has ever been near kids, well, you get sick all the time because that's what they do.
The most adorable little petri dishes.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. You're so cute. Stay away. That's the mom of 4 children. Okay, so all right. And Regina is going to be on either. I can't remember if she's getting on the call late or she has to get off early. And I know Joanne's going to disappear at like 6:40, 6:45. And that's okay. So we're going to talk really fast. All right. So Kiersten, and over on my screen, which is probably on your screen, is Alicia Sanchez. And her first book comes out on March 20th. And it's all about, well, it's called Crafts Create Change. And she's going to tell us all about that when I pick on her after I show everyone on here. And then over on my screen, which is probably on that side of your screen, is Katie Bishop. She's out of Seattle, and she has a noir coming out on February 22nd, 2022, and she's got the proof. And I did see it, and that looks awesome. And there you go. She's got her paperback and her hardcover.
And the fabulous Amy Gregg, right here.
Oh, yeah. Put it closer to the camera.
We have so many talented people at Fox Pointe.
So Amy made these. Alicia, did you get yours?
Yes, I did. Mine is right here.
Okay. Yeah, I have a little orange one too. So cute.
Well, and Joanne, you got yours last June or July. I gave it to you in Cresco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Amy Gregg, she made this whole box of those metal bookmarks, and they're cute and they're fabulous. And the problem is she gave them to me, and then I stuck them on my desk. And anyone who knows me knows that you do not put anything on my desk if you ever want to see it again. And it resurfaced, fortunately, sooner than 5 years later down the road.
It's a nice Christmas present now, It worked out. So yeah,
there you go. And all right, on my screen too, I have Joanne Stevenson. She is the author of You and Late Side of Midnight, and she's got what is the third one, Cora?
Courageous Cora and the Boys and the Brave Boys, I think we renamed.
Okay. I know it's gone through a couple different names. So yeah. And and all exciting things today, I sent in her book, You, for the Independent Book Publishers Award, Ben Franklin's Award. And so
fingers
crossed, toes crossed that she'll win on that. And then I also have Brad on here that you guys probably can't see, or maybe you can, but he is the guy, he's the Wizard of Oz that makes all of this work. Otherwise we'd all be sitting here talking to each other.
We're gonna make him come on one of these days. Brad, you're gonna come on one of these days.
Well, he's gonna have to peek over because he actually doesn't have a camera on his computer.
Oh, you big fat liar.
One of these days I'll go in with my phone and I'll show you. I'm like, we won't look.
How did that happen? Brad, did you purposely find a computer without a camera? How is that possible these days?
Brad? He can talk to us. Brad, you can come on and tell us how you don't have a camera.
I, in fact, don't have a camera.
He doesn't.
Oh, it's been confirmed.
Yeah. A Santa Christmas thing. We'll have to do it that way. And then lastly, Regina Noel Downey. She's either going to be on I think she's coming on late. I don't know. We'll find out if she pops on. Oh, she's in. No, that's you. That's Joanne. Okay, Regina's teaching right now. She has a music studio that she teaches, but she's going to come in around 6:30. So there you go. All right, so that's what we have. And so what we're going to do, if you've been ever watching any of our Fox Pointe, other Fox Pointe events that we've done, is if you can write a question in the chat box so we know that you exist, and you can ask whatever you want. We've got authors and lots of authors, and then I do marketing and all that kind of stuff. If we don't know the answer to your question, we'll just make it up. But the fun part of it is you earn a chance to win a free book. And so tonight I'm giving away The Hitchhiker from Lydia Emma Niebuhr. That is a cozy mystery. It's a standalone, although it's part of a series, it's a standalone. And then for the lucky winner, if someone wants, I have the 2 books, Corner Confessions and The Lives We Live. And these are both my books. Katie, have you started reading one of these?
They're
I have
good.
not. You haven't sent it to me. I need it.
Sorry.
I need
The
to read
Corner
it.
Confessions is good.
Alicia
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It,
Well,
it
you
makes
gotta-
you
you-
feel. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but but it makes you feel like you're like, oh my gosh, this cannot be happening. Like what? Oh my God! Wait, what?
Well, now,
Well, that's why Kiersten's been being hounded at book shows for her 3rd book.
well,
she's been
that is
accosted.
true. They
People
do.
are upset.
And I have to tap on the ball. But Alicia, have you read Lies yet? The 2nd book?
No, I haven't read that one. I think I have that one, but I haven't read it yet.
Well, there you go. 16 more. Oh my gosh.
So if I ask a question, can I win the book?
I suppose. Matter of fact, I could probably just, out of the goodness of my heart,
Here,
send it to you.
No. Send me the EPUB. You know I'm an iPad reader.
Oh,
I'm a weirdo.
I can do
very
EPUBs.
weird book
Anyway.
person. I love my
Joanne-
iPad. I just do.
Joanne, what was your question?
can you just give us an idea what they're about?
Okay. Alicia's like, okay. All right. Basically, you know how, well, like think about what bartenders here, for example, if you don't know them and they don't know you, you could just blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
There's no accountability. You don't have to share your name. It's all this people, you know how like we all have secrets and are never going to see the light of day for like a gazillion dollars. Well, maybe for a gazillion dollars, I'd give it up. But anything less than a gazillion, you're not going to give it up. That's what these are. And they run the spectrum from pay it forward, feel good to like, whatever, all the way to, oh boy, and everything in between. The fun part of it is these are secrets and confessions. I know these people. They're real people.
But they're real.
Names have been changed to protect their
yes,
identities.
Names have been changed and we call it fiction. And then I keep it in my house. It's really fun.
But the reality is any novelist who says that their characters aren't based on people they know are liars.
Oh yeah, big time.
They just
liar.
are. It just
you write what you know.
You really do.
But so
You
yeah,
really
that is the thing. So there are 14 in Corner Confessions, and the reason it's Corner Confessions, it takes place in the back of a fictional coffee shop in the back corner. There you go. And that's why there's always coffee. As a matter of fact, Joanne, do you recognize that picture? It's in Decorah.
Oh, is that well, it's either Java John's or Magpie.
Probably Magpie. That sounds familiar. Chelsea went down there with Elsa, one of her friends, a couple of years ago and took this great picture. And I like it. So Chelsea has to find me another cover and then I'll just write the book to it. And there you go. No, actually it has to come out because otherwise it'll never come out. And there you go. All right. I'm also going to give away a copy, a paperback of You. And this is the book that JoAn wrote. And this is the book that I sent in. Alicia, did I send you one of these for Cielo?
No, not that one.
Oh, well, gosh. I
I have to say,
all the books.
all the covers on Fox Pointe are stunning. Every single one of them is wonderful in its own way. But You is just one of my favorites.
I know.
Yeah,
Jason,
especially the children, all the children's book, they're all just so eye cap. You know, kids have like an attention span, you know.
Yep.
But it's like even the jelly beans, it's just like they look delicious, but they look so cool, like they want to be your friend.
But I don't know, I'm confused right now. It looks so delicious.
I was at an event this last weekend with Jason, and every time someone came up to look at the U book, he would like jump in. He's like, "Oh my gosh, that's my favorite book," and that's a children's book, and it's so beautiful. And so Jason is plugging your book there, JoAn. So you'll have to say thank you, Jason.
Nice how we all support each other. It's really a great organization and family to be a part.
Yep, I gotta tell you, when I go through and I put all the names in for all the different emails, and yes, I know sometimes I get carried away with my emails, I know, but I look at all of the people that I know, and it's fabulous. You guys are fabulous. There you go.
But
huh?
even before we met in person, I felt a bond with you, and we just hit it off over the phone, and that meeting you in person was like the icing on the cake.
I thought so too.
Sometimes I forget that we haven't met in person.
I know. That's going to change in April. Matter of fact, all four of us on here are going to be in Wichita. JoAn's going too.
Oh, you're going to Wichita?
Oh,
yeah. So my husband, since we decided to do this show, has been going around singing Seven Nation Army. Going to Wichita.
Anywho,
it's gonna be a long few months. It's gonna be a long few months.
It's gonna be fun.
Thanks.
What?
We'll have to go out for drinks.
Well, exactly. All right, Hearth and Gnome. I'm giving this away. AJ Sullivan, although she will not be in on tonight. Hearth and Gnome. This is her Gnome Christmas book.
Oh, that's the new book of AJ.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So she did Twinkle and Franny, the Bobby Bear series, and then Hearth and Gnome. So,
it came out so cool.
And then Regina's coming on, and we're going to give away the Bedtime Rhyme. And this is a gorgeous book. And Regina, if you guys know, she is a musician, and she's got original sheet music back here.
Love
so
it.
If you're of the talented musical persuasion, there you go. And this is just an incredibly beautiful book.
Wow.
Anyway, all right, so that is what we're going to do. So if you write a question, Brad's going to let me know what the question is, and we've got it all high tech and organized over here. And and then there you go. But first we're going to start on Alicia. She's got her first book coming out, Crafts Create Change, on March 20th. Mm-hmm. And she's going to tell us all about it. Go.
So if you are a crafter, if you're an artist, if you like to get creative, if you like to try new things, if you like sewing and knitting and crafting with paper and glue and markers and all that fun stuff, this book is for you and your children or people in your community. Crafts Create Change is just another form of volunteering. As the founder of the Dear God Are We There Yet volunteer community, we connect causes and communities together. So we find volunteers for everyone. But Craft Create Change is another form of volunteering. A lot of people say, well, I don't have time or I don't have money to help someone or to do with social good. But sometimes crafting, like writing a letter to the elderly in your community, or creating a bookmark for young readers to help them with probably, if they need help with reading, or your local hospital for NICU children who are all alone and just fighting for their lives. There's so many different projects that we have in this book. And so it can range from, a lot of people don't know, foster care children, when they are ripped from their homes in the middle of the night, they're given a garbage bag. And how did you feel if you have to put your clothes in a garbage bag? So we have a duffel bag in the book where people can make and they can donate. The really great thing about the book is that it has the patterns, but we also, on our website, you can put your zip code of where you live, and there will come up with lots of different nonprofits in your neighborhood, in your community. So you can ship it or you can drop it off, which makes it real. So now you're making it and it's not just staying in your home. And it's just another form of giving. It's just another form of taking time to understand all these causes right in our backyard. It can be from homelessness. It could be from women who were incarcerated and came out and they want to feel confident about themselves, and you can make some poly earrings for them. It could be, I'm trying to go through all the list. A woman in your life who possibly had a mastectomy. There's a journey in recovery, and the mastectomy pillow is a huge part of the recovery process. And there's so many different other projects in there, as well as community projects. So it's like, how can I get involved in my community, and what can I do? What can I do in like the local restaurant? Maybe put a fridge out in front of a local restaurant and say, take what you need. It could be books. A lot of people have like those mini libraries. I know when I lived in Minnesota, this was something so awesome because Midwest people, they're just awesome. And I saw them all the time, and like all these little libraries, and people will drop off books. Or you can have a little seed library, and you can grow flowers in your neighborhood for your elderly neighbors. So there's so many ways to give. So there's over 40 projects to make, but then there are also tons of community projects as well. So if you're a crafter, or you want to get crafting, or even if you're not a crafter, but you want to do something with family or friends, or you have a party and you want to do something social good, this book is for you. It's good to just have it and pick it up. And so that's basically it.
It's for all ages and ability levels, correct?
Yep, all ages and ability levels. And the instructions are, even though they might be more advanced, like we have slippers in there, or you could do a robe, or for women in maternity, like a wrap dress. The instructions are super easy, and the patterns are very basic in the sense that even if you're a beginner, you can read along. And we'll have some videos as well online. So in the back, when you purchase the book, you'll have access to go on the back, and you'll see videos and you can kind of do it along as well. So I'm hoping that there will be additional additions where we can add to projects and share the impact of how many you have donated. Just like people donated masks and they did hundreds and thousands. We want to do that, and we want to see what the impact and how the impact is doing right in our community. So you don't have to ship anything, you just drop it off.
Yeah, I would think like community centers, churches, church groups, older daycare children, even younger daycare children would be good. And then of course, schools, people getting together in groups and wondering what to do every so often. Yeah, I mean, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, I mean, there's all sorts of things in there. I have seen a few of the projects and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. So
yes, it's suitable for kids. Absolutely, Joanne. I made it an intentions for a child to do it as well, of course, with an adult if they've never sewn. So a lot of the projects are for that. And a lot of it, it's like a teaching moment too. We don't notice when I say about foster care, when I say about the rate of homelessness, and we don't know their circumstances. We don't know, there's a lot of veterans out there that, they forget their pills or something, and they might need, a container of some sort, or children that have, a blood disorder that they're bleeding out of their nose, and they feel, they might feel like, if they have their nose bleeding, embarrassed or whatever. So we make it where it's like, no, you're a superstar. Like, no, you're a hero. And we try to change the narrative and educate people. I think that's the number one thing about all these causes. I was going to mention even elderly homes. They do a lot of things with, like we have a project there for kids that are either autism on the spectrum, or even autism. Alzheimer's. with like a memory where they can do like felt and stuff. And so my grandmother, she passed away from Alzheimer's. So it's something where you're keeping the mind. So even to the elderly groups, they can purchase a book and have it in the center to, you know, get together. But yeah, these are all great suggestions. That's my hope.
So there you go. That's what I'll be busy doing pretty much January, February, March, April. Well, from here on in. So there you go. I just need to get the proof so I can start running around town. All right. Speaking of proofs, Katie has her proofs and she's going to tell us all about Love and Murder.
Yay. It looks so good.
Doesn't it?
Love
Doesn't
and
it?
Murder. I like the topic. I need to know what this is about so I can get me a copy.
Love and Murder is a novel about two cats called Love and Murder because the little old lady who picks them up on the front porch in a basket that was left to her mysteriously is reading a Reader's Digest article or something like that, and it says cats only know two things, love and murder. And so that's what she names them, Love and Murder. They're siblings. This book is a noir, so it's dark, it's a thriller, it's a crime novel. These aren't cute kitties.
No. Speaking of Disney, it is not a Disney flick.
Oh
No, I as Nadia found out. But I wanted to, the interior design on this book just came out so beautiful. So I wanted to show off this title page.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that something?
I
Oh
love it.
my God, like it's just like, and then going through here, I pulled the bookmark out when I was showing off Amy's bookmark, but I had it.
Oh no.
I love the part one page.
Yep,
Can you see
part
it? Do I have it
one.
up right?
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
it.
Part
Yeah.
2. Yep.
So it's a roller coaster of a book. It's dark, it's broody, it's about loss. It's about how you survive the worst things in your life with your soul intact.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there's lots of crazy characters, lots of snappy lines, lots of drama. It's a noir, so it's in the tradition of the old film noir, the old black and white movies with the fedoras and the bratty lines and the existential crisis. So it's a lot of fun and it's very dark, but it should be a really good read for folks. So we're really excited.
And if you want to learn some more about the characters, if you log on to foxpointepublishing.com, so FOXPOINTE publishing.com, scroll down, and you don't have to scroll down too far. You're going to see Love and Murder. Click on the cover of the book, and that's going to take you to the information page for the book. Then click on any one of those pictures. You're going to see Remy the ferret and
Remy the blonde. He's the ferret femme fatale. Because
Yes,
it's a noir. Every noir's got to have a femme fatale.
Well,
So we have a ferret.
yeah, so Remy the blonde and Lando and Kaleidoscope and
Rendezvous.
and all sorts of characters. And you click on those, then you get to go into those character pages. And then also, Katie, how are the different, I know she posts noir clips on her Facebook and her Instagram and Twitter, I think. And she's developed quite the following with people. I check them out whenever they flip by. I'm like, ooh. So how do people find you on social media?
Well, like you said, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. So those are all on, if you go on foxpointepublishing.com, author Katie Bishop, it's under the professionals tab. You can scroll down, you find my name, and all my links are up there. So you can follow me on social media. I post prose passages, little teasers from the book on Saturdays for the characters. I will be doing more once the new year hits, but we did a lot this year. So
We did.
yeah. And I post clips from film noirs. A lot of them are based on novels. I think a lot of people don't realize that noir comes from novels. And then films were made from those novels. So it comes from, what was going on in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, dealing with the Great Depression, dealing with war, dealing with the fallout. And I think people can really relate to noir now because we've been through a whole heck of a lot, haven't we?
We have gone through a lot of noir in the past.
Yeah. And And so noir is really, it didn't start out as something. It was crime movies that became crime novels that became very literary. It became exploring the human condition, why we're seeing the things we're seeing within our societies, what's going on, how people are responding to it, how people are helpless because of it, how people find strength because of it, but just kind of like what is going on in the world and how does that impact individuals? And a lot of it, centers on people in the underworld, normal people who get sucked in because they're desperate. They end up gambling, they end up addicted, they end up chasing women, they end up, who knows? I mean, noir is about all those things. And so it's really like exploring the sociology of what's going on, the psychology of what's going on, and it's very heady fiction. So you're going to be really getting into the characters' minds, really trying to understand who they are and why they are what they are. And it's great because it's really pulpy too. The plots are fast, the characters are fantastic, the lines are great, and that's why it was so enduring, and that's why it was so popular, and it's still really popular now. I mean, there's a big film noir community online. Like they play noir all the time on like Criterion Channel, TCM. It's still it keeps staying popular, and it's really resonating, I think, with younger people who are just discovering it. And that's what I've been wanting to do with my clips is, entertain folks who already know what film noir is, but also help expose people who maybe think, oh, black and white movies aren't relevant. Oh, yes.
Yeah, they are. They're awesome.
And classic movies have been a passion of mine for a long time. Classic movies are really how I got on a wayward track and into being a writer, and instead of doing public policy job.
Well, so yeah, and I will say too, I've started reading the proof that you sent me. Thank you very much. And it sucks you in fast. I mean, it's good. It's good literary fiction. It's in depth, and again, it's not so for anyone getting snowed in or on a vacation where you just have some time to sit down. It's not a book that you'd want to read a chapter and then run away and then
no,
you really just need to, because you're going to be in that movie of reading that book. It gets you into the book right away, and it's I don't want to say, well, it gets intense, or I haven't gotten to the intense part yet, but yeah, it's not light and fluffy at all.
It's dark and sassy.
It's what?
It's dark and sassy. It's really what.
Yeah, and it's not your typical I don't want to say Hollywood script, but it's not your typical recipe. You've never read anything like it. Let's just
like you're not gonna say, oh, I already know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, because
you're like, oh, this is a common, he did bad, he got caught, she loved him, she left him, okay, bye.
Well, what the great thing about noir is, and what kind of the defining thing I would say about noir is characters tend to be morally ambiguous. Your heroes are a little not so shiny. Your villains are maybe a little more sympathetic than you anticipate, and then all of a sudden you end up confused.
Yeah, confusion is great. And there's about 500 pages of confusion. So it's great fun. No, it's good. And it's been receiving good reviews, very good reviews, even with people out of the pulp and the noir. So, yeah.
Yeah, I ordered my copy. I just ordered my copy because.
Well, there you go.
Did you? Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, I'm not a crafting person. I am.
No, not at all.
I was a Girl Scout growing up. And this is me doing crafts.
No,
I was just
I'm actually getting into thrillers now. I love thriller podcasts, and so I've always been the type of other reading that I love, like true story stuff. So I'm like, I'm getting into thrillers. So when you were saying like, how about the characters, I'm like, I'm gonna give it a chance, because like this is up my alley of what I'm trying to like get into reading. So no, I ordered my copy because it sounds good.
Well, noir is all about like characters getting sucked into that underworld. And that's really, there are different kinds of noirs and different kinds of settings, but they're mostly set in cities, you know, kind of playing on that, you know, feeling trapped, feeling hopeless, like everything being dark, you know, gritty, and so that is, I lost my point.
Oh, there you go. Well, while you're being lost in your point here, we're going to get JoAn on here.
Yes, yes.
And I will point out too, if you're just hopping on, come up with, oh, Regina's here. Come up with a question and ask us, because I have books to give away and you should get a free book because it's the holidays, and then you could get a free book for yourself. And that would be cool. So you should ask us a question. Otherwise, we don't know you exist, and we don't know if anyone's even watching this. All right, there's Regina, but now we're going to pick on, okay, so I've already introduced Regina, and there she is. But we're now going to listen to JoAn, because she's going to bop off here in about 15 minutes. So JoAn, it's your turn. What do you want to say to the world? Go.
Do you want me to talk about my books?
Yeah, about your books, or what's going on, or what do you want to talk about, or upcoming books, or what?
Well, I have 2 books with Fox Pointe Publishing. The first one is Late Side of Midnight. It's a children's book, young children. It's about a little boy who can't sleep, and a bunch of woodland animals come and visit him in his room. Great illustrations again. I can't draw stick people, so I in awe of people who can draw and do illustrations. And then my second book is You, and it's a feel-good book for an adult to read to a child. Both of my books rhyme, and it's just kind of a whimsical, feel-good book to read to a child, hopefully over and over again. Kiersten, you already talked about the illustrations, and I think Kiersten, you thought of sending it in for the award.
Oh, heck yeah.
A good
yeah.
The illustrations are so cool. Yeah. So Kim Hanzo, you know, shout out to her in North Carolina, and I hope I get to meet her someday. Very talented illustrator. Yep. Fox Pointe Publishing is working on my third book, and that is a fairy tale. It's about a princess who was taken by a ogre, and some boys have to help rescue her. I like how through the editing process, it got changed to the main character, Cora, or Coraline, you know, is a very strong little female character, and you know, they have to work together to get her out of her situation. And so that's finally getting the the editing is done now. Kayla Olson is the illustrator, and she's got it now and starting to work on it. And then I am hoping to write a sequel, and it kind of reversed, where I'm hoping that the boys in this story get in a jam, and Cora and maybe a couple other little girls have to go help them.
Okay, so, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So that's about it. I write children's stuff. I you know, I'm in awe of people like you, Katie, that can write a whole novel. I don't know how you do it. But my genre is children's literature, so having fun with that, and happy that I found Fox Pointe Publishing, and
Well,
now there's two of us in Decorah, and even more authors interested, because it's just such a awesome organization to be a part of.
well, thank you. And actually, I was thinking Regina just popped on here. Regina and JoAn are both out of Decorah, and they are, well, two of our top selling children's books authors. I can't go into a library or store or a gift shop or a bookstore or anywhere without them people being like, I'll take that one and that one and that one and that one. And I'm like, funny, these two live in Decorah. So there you go. And so, yeah, Regina, this is her latest one and one of the books we're going to give away. And so, Regina, if you want to tell us a little bit about all your two books and how you got into it and all that. And there you go. And also for anyone watching, please ask a question and you can earn a chance to win a book. Because if you don't ask a question, we have no idea that you exist. All right, Regina, hit it.
Okay. So I too write children's books. I've got two out with Fox Pointe Publishing right now. The Bedtime Rhyme, Kiersten is showing it right now, that just released November 20th. And Give a Little Snuggle. So the Bedtime Rhyme, I'll talk about that first.
Okay.
So so these books, so I'm working on a series. So these are the first two in a series. They're really designed for families, not necessarily just for children. They're designed for families to read together to foster healthy relationships and connectedness and give tools for dealing with, you know, some of life's transitional and difficult times, like bedtime. Separation anxiety is a real thing for small children, and it affects parents too. Parents can feel that separation anxiety at bedtime too. So this is, the book is based off of that I've done with my kids since they were babies. And it's kind of morphed over the years. There's a lullaby in the book because both books have music. There are songs, story song books. So the sheet music is in it. So it's the lullaby I wrote for my kids. So we always start off, so the book starts as a story, a little story, and then there's space built in for sharing. So for your kids to share with you and for you to really listen and be a part of their world and what's that like for them. And then it's the parents' turn to share, or caregiver, and their sharing is the lullaby. And it ends with just the perfect thing to say to your littles before they go to sleep. And it's simply, I like you just as you are, nothing else. And it's just such a wonderful way to put your kids to bed and to foster that healthy communication and healthy family relationships. And I will say, so I have followed this routine since my babes were babes, thinking that if I create space for sharing to really hear what's up in their lives, if I create that as they're little, as they grow, when times get hard and they're faced with scary stuff, they will be okay telling me.
Yep.
And I had my first real experience with that the other day. I put the kids to bed and we went through a whole routine. I sat with each of them in their bed and we talked a little bit. Nothing major came up. And then I said goodnight and I went to bed and it was like 10:30. 10:30 is usually our bedtime. So then I went to my bed and maybe around midnight, my daughter came into my room and she was upset. And I was like, what's going on? Like, I was annoyed at first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got that there was something going on, and she crawled up in my bed and she said to me, Mom, I've done something really, really bad and I'm a really bad person and I'm afraid to tell you and you can punish me. And she went on and I grabbed her little hand. She crawled up next to me and I put my other arm around her and I said, hey, it's okay. It's okay. Whatever it is, it's okay. And swear to God, she poured her little heart out to me. She told me exactly what was up, and I'll not repeat it because that's between me and her. But my heart just melted. And then you got to cry out, and she's like, you can punish me. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to punish you. Like, you're 12. Life is lifing. Some of these things you're going to have to learn on your own, because I'm not going to be there all of the time. You're not a bad person. We've all done, crazy things because we're just learning about life. And I was like, do you think I should punish you? And she didn't really say anything. She just kind of took a deep breath, and she fell asleep next to me, and it's all because of this book, essentially, this routine that I've built in for my kids over their lifetime. And it just gave me like the sense of peace as a parent, knowing that, because our kids are gonna do crazy stuff. Yep. They will, guaranteed. And I would rather know about it. And I would rather them know that no matter what, I'll be there for them. Like, you can call me and I will come and get you, whatever is going on. And I'm not going to judge you for it. And I'm not going to shame you for it. So that's what this book is about supporting our children in the beings that they're growing into. And so that they'll share hard things with us. And then they'll grow into fully functioning adults that care and give back to our world. So that's the bedtime rhyme.
And I'm just going to interject here. Joanne ducked out. She said bye to everyone, and but she ran away. And so continue.
Give a Little Snuggle is similar in that it's also a story songbook, and it was also written in a moment of like desperation. That one's for our kids when they're having a bad day, or they're scared, or they're sad. It's written for kids and parents and caregivers, like, because we don't always know what to do. So it's kind of a tool to help parents and caregivers like figure out what to do when your kid is facing some of those things. And I wrote it as a song when my son was having a meltdown, literally in the middle of a meltdown, because I was like, what can I do? How can I connect with him? Because he's like completely lost it and not responding to anything. And so that's what I came up with. And so I just started singing the song, and within minutes he had calmed down and he was laughing and snuggling with me. And it's funny because his memory of it is different. Like, he doesn't remember that he was having a meltdown, and I don't remember what it was over, but he was clearly having a meltdown. He remembers it as simply, oh, we were just playing.
I think that's really touching though, because the good memory overrode the bad one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
And it sounds like your daughter on the last one did more punishing of herself than she already took care of the punishment stuff.
I'm not one for really punishing kids. I think there's another way to teach them. They like you just said, they do enough damage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And yeah, kids do goofy things, but if they're on the straight and narrow, they might fall off every so often, but there you go. And your kids are delightful. I have not met Cielo.
No, not yet.
But I will in Wichita, so that's cool. All right, so AJ's not on. JoAn left early. Regina got here. You guys all need to ask questions, because I am willing to give away free books, and I'm the cheapest person you'll ever meet. So if I'm willing to give you free books, you really should come up with a question. I'm just pointing that out. All right, let's see. Things I have done. Well, I'm about 2 years late and counting on my third book of my novel series, and gall darn it, we're going to get that darn bugger done. I talked with Chelsea again about another kid's book. So I've got my Ollie, my octopus book will be out. I think, matter of fact, when I first came up with it, I met Alicia that tells you how long ago that was. Did I tell you about Ollie way back when? My Ollie book about my octopus?
Yeah, I think that's when I think you told me a little bit about, I think it was jelly bean too. It was a jelly bean you were thinking.
No, I didn't know jelly beans yet. I met you 2 years before jelly beans. Well, anyway.
Okay, so it was Ollie then. It had been Ollie, yeah.
So Ollie has actually been in my mind for about 30 plus years, and I finally figured out how to write it. And in 2017, when I met Alicia, I was telling her about the book. So, I mean, it's coming around, and it's now on its 3rd illustrator. 3 is the charm. So getting onto Kayla's schedule is basically it. It's already edited and ready to go.
How did you two meet?
Okay, do you want to tell it or should I start it?
I don't know. Yeah, you could start it.
Okay.
We were at a fair,
The Freeborn County Fair in Albert Lee, Minnesota. It's a county.
Oh, that's right. You said you used to live in Minnesota. Okay.
Mhm.
She made the mistake of living here for 1 year, and she's like, "Oh my God." Okay, so I'm standing at my table. On my for those of you who don't know this, I'm going into my 14th year now as an insurance agent. The other multifaceted, what does Kiersten do? And so I'm standing at my table, with all of my free pens and free pencils and insurance brochures, and like most county fairs, I'm bored out of my skull, and I've been watching the leaf gutter protection video with the squirrel that runs along this roof line, and how to protect your gutters from growing weeds, and I'm just like, oh my God.
You have nightmares about that squirrel, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I mean, I know the jingle to the leaf gutter commercial, and I'm singing along, and I'm like, I gotta get out of my booth. So I went for a walk, and we hit, so there goes the gutter booth, and then there's a lawn mowing booth, and there's it's a county fair out in the middle of, the rural America. And I come around the corner, and, free high Wi-Fi and, Watkins ointments and whatever. And then I see this really small booth, and I'm talking really small. It's about 4 feet wide, and it's got like this little arch over it, and it's the most decorated booth, and it's got shelves of little jars and all sorts of things, and little bags of tea and herbs, and I mean all sorts of stuff. And then further back, because it's like it's a 10 deep, 8 foot wide booth typically. So they're in 4 feet by 10 feet. And all the way back in the back, Alicia's laughing. There's like this little, was it a house or like a little roof or something?
Yeah, it was like we try to make it like a tent to look like vintagey. So it looks like a little house, yeah.
And okay, I have to interject again because this just sounds like the opening to a novel to me. It really does. And the bored insurance agent, the fascinating booth with the little vintage house that's little tiny, but you can't ignore it.
They stood out. It was so wonderful. And I walked in, and I typically do, I was just going to look at anything besides that stupid leaf gutter squirrel across the roof line jingle that I've already memorized. And oh my gosh, it comes back at me. But, typically I'm like, oh, lawnmower, ointments, I'm just walking. And so she is there. I walk into the booth, and there is Alicia and Lucy sitting there. They are the most well-appointed, dressed people. When I go to a county fair, it's like, okay, how casual can I get before it gets to the point where I'm wearing like sweatpants and a t-shirt? Because you're standing there on concrete for 10, 12 hours of a day, and you're sweating. And this is in August, and you've got flies, and it's a county fair. And so I go in under this little, arbor kind of thing, and everything is appointed. It's like, they were like an island of wow in a pole shed building of concrete floor and aluminum, siding. It's like, Who the hell?
It was an apothecary.
French. What?
We had a business. It's an apothecary that we sold
Yes.
teas and spices that we created. And then I also had my book, my second book in there, You're Gotta Be There Yet. And that's how we met. And then you're like, you have a book. And then I'm like, oh, I have a book. My book is out. And then we started talking. This is way before Fox Pointe.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had only 2 books. I only had Corner Confessions and the I Do book. Lives
I Do book
hadn't even come out yet. And so I started talking with these 2, and actually they were sharing the other 4 foot by 10 foot space with Bernice, who does Lavelle or whatever. And so they were just having a party over here. And I'm like sitting there going, well, gosh, I'm over there with the leaf gutter booth, and they're having a party. So I wasn't in my booth a whole lot during that entire fair, because I went just running around the corner, and I just sat there and partied with Bernice. And who was the other young lady that was across that was doing the?
No idea. I don't know how you remember all these people.
I'll have to look it up. But Bernice and Alicia and Lucy, and the party was in that little 8x10. And that's where the party was.
Well, that sounds amazing.
So that's where we, and then those 2 are like, well, we're going to move to Minnesota. We're living in Minnesota now. And, because they've told us, they from the Dominican Republic and Florida, and they've lived in Spain and in Boston and California.
How in the heck did you end up in Minnesota?
Yeah. And then both Bernice and I are like, why? So how did you wind up in Minnesota?
I think, well, my parents have property there.
Yep.
So my dad bought property in Minnesota. They live like in Florida and Minnesota. They love Minnesota, like love it. But they only go half of the year. They only go like
they don't go the snowy part.
Well, they do go sometimes, but they go like only for like a month or 2. And so when I started to visit Minnesota, I'm like, oh, this is so cute. It's such a cute town, and da-da-da. And then we were doing RV. We lived in an RV, like we were doing just living in an RV. We redid it and made it like vintage, and we wanted to do like the entire US. We wanted to see every state, but that did not happen because it broke down in Tennessee. So we were like, what's gonna happen? So what happens? Like, Dear Gotta Be There Yet? Life is a road trip. You can't just give up if you have a flat tire and be like, oh, I need a new car. You change your tires. So that's what we did. We're like, let's just live in Minnesota for now and see,
So I'm teasing you about Minnesota, but I don't know if you know this, but my dad's family is from Minnesota.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, they're from Duluth, and we used to go back and visit the farm.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed it for a year. I enjoyed it for a year.
Yes, she did.
Well, I wanted to move to Minnesota as a kid. I'm from Southern California, originally from the LA area. And so dry, hot, desert, Rancho Cucamonga. And so we went back, and it was green and beautiful. I didn't care that I had 50 mosquito bites. And we went back in an RV. So I understand the Minnesota, and I understand the RV breaking down, because a lot of my childhood vacation memories are around where we broke down.
There you go.
My dad was.
Doesn't that make life so much, those experiences add to your life? Like I always say, when I was growing up, my father always wanted to give us experiences rather than, he was never into like giving us name brand this and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we weren't privileged. We couldn't get everything we wanted anyways, so I come from immigrant parents. So but it taught me that those experiences were like, wow, I really am enjoying life, or I really am meeting the types of people that I will cherish and know forever. I mean, like Kiersten, like she came to my wedding. I fostered that relationship where she became family, but I learned so much from her, and through her honesty and through her transparency. And I feel like that's what life is all about. And my first book, Dear Gotta Be There Yet, is about like life is a road trip. It literally is a road trip. If you think about everything that's happened into your life, from losses to anything, it's a road trip, because you don't know. You could be prepared with everything, all the snacks and stuff, but I guarantee you in that 10th hour, you're not going to want those Cheetos anymore. You're going to want something else. And they're like, that's how that's how life is. And I can go on and on about my whole story, but as a cancer survivor, like I've learned that it's like, these are the moments, you know, this is the time that we connect. And that's what I want to teach my daughter, you know, it's the experiences of being together or creating, you know, like Regina was saying, like these lullabies. Like I make up these songs too for my daughter for everything, because I feel like, one, I'm a goofball, but two, like she enjoys it. So I get what you're trying to say with that. But those are memories that they create. So yeah, experiences are everything. Time is valuable.
We went to a lot of the national parks, you know, all together. Like we saw a lot of the country. It was really amazing. Now, I'm gonna segue that in because I did see an intriguing Facebook post this last week. Yeah. Yes, about a certain bookmobile.
Oh, was that the well lit up one that looked like it was in a white van? It's like how to lure a book lover.
I don't know, but you mentioned, you know, that there was going to be possibly a Fox Pointe Publishing bookmobile like, on the horizon.
Yes. Okay.
So I think now would be a good time.
Sorry.
now that we're talking RVs here and traveling and going around the country.
Well,
so what's up with that?
And this is something actually Alicia is known for a long time too, that I want to do full-time RVing too. I've talked with them about it as well. And I'm going to quick go back to Alicia's whole thing. So that was in August when I met them, and like in January or February, Lucy happened to be on Facebook. I'm like, so how are you enjoying Minnesota? Because they were gung-ho. They were going to do this. This was going to be good. And Lucy's like, a lot of wine. They didn't even last a year. They were like, we're out of here. So I think that's funny. But, and I will also point out that somewhere on a video, there is this nutcase. I was the first one on the dance floor at their wedding.
Is there a video of that?
I love Pitbull, and Pitbull came on. I gotta think of the name of it.
You're like,
and I'm like, yeah,
Alicia, that's gotta go on Facebook.
I have to look for it. Snip it.
Someone's got to have it. I took tons of pictures, and I didn't take any videos, but I'm sure people, and I'm like, and heard their entire families and their friends that flew in from all types of locations and exotic locations. I mean, it was just, wow. They're like,
okay, I want to see that.
I know.
I gotta find it.
I gotta find it.
Yeah, and we gotta put it on next Fox Chat. Brad, can we make that happen? Can you play the video?
Well, Alicia's got to find it though. I don't have the video of it. I was just out there, you know.
Yeah, because Alicia, you're gonna be on next time, right? Yeah, in January I'm gonna be on. You're gonna be on because we got books coming out.
Was there a sign-up sheet for Januay? Did I miss that?
Yeah, I'll resend it to you. It's a sign-up thing, but yeah, I just remember out there. I'm like, yeah, having a great time.
Oh, you know, and this has to happen. This has to happen.
I just watched everywhere I turned. There was just people like halfway, you know, the drink halfway up to their mouth, like. What the?
And so that's when you double down.
Oh yeah, and was it your brother? Some guy came out onto the dance floor with me, and I started
my brother
shimmying up with him, and we were having a grand old time. I mean, it was just funny.
I gotta look for it now. You're gonna have me looking for that snippet.
Yeah, it was funny.
I'm supposed to be wrapping Christmas presents, but I'm going through this hard drive.
So there you go. So Alicia and I have been friends since August of 2017, when I couldn't stand the leaf gutter video anymore at the Freeborn County Fair. There you go. That's
well, Kiersten, when you're done with your third Corona Confessions, you got your next book after that.
Oh, and I tell you, who did your catering? You had a Caribbean.
Oh yeah, that was in Rochester, Minnesota.
Yeah. They came back to Rochester and got married here, but they had a Caribbean. It was good food.
It's Jamaican.
I still remember that too. It goes way past the 37,000 ways of making chicken and rice pilaf that you get with a Minnesota Lutheran wedding. Oh my God. It was awesome food.
Oh,
And I
Jamaican
say
food's
that
so good.
I say that only because, as everyone probably knows, I have done 1,403 weddings in my life. And let's just say I have seen and been to a lot of weddings.
That book is so funny. First of all, while you're talking about that book that I do, like you read that book and you're like, these people are a hot mess. Like these brides are a hot mess.
Do you have I Do there?
Oh my God. Huh?
Oh,
I was asking Kiersten if she has the I Do book.
oh
that she
no, I
held
do
up.
not.
I have
No, you do not.
I do not have it.
somewhere.
Well,
But
that's
I
also at foxpointepublishing.com.
Yes,
So,
yep. If you look at FOXPOINT
It's so funny.
publishing, E is because we're fancy. There you go. Publishing.com, you'll see it. I do. Matter of fact, that is the book that really started all of this.
Do you ever think
Okay.
about taking pictures again?
Huh? Oh gosh, no. Gosh, no. That's a lot of work, and the equipment is expensive, and it's a lot of hoofing it around. And
Yeah.
I think I was telling Liz this a couple days ago that was great to do in my 20s and into my 30s, but then it was like, I'm
your
getting
back
old.
starts going, you know?
Oh, your back and your shoulder and your eyes. I have a stigmatism in my eye and pinched nerves back here.
So Bridezilla's gave you an astigmatism?
Oh no, just because you're looking through a camera all the time, And so there you go.
I'm actually gonna head out because I have to do bedtime, you guys.
Okay.
But I had so much fun talking to you guys, and I will be back on, I think, in January.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure.
You gotta find that video.
I gotta find that video.
You gotta find the video.
All right. We'll say hi to the crew over there.
Bye.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
talk
Bye.
later.
Bye.
All right. So that is what we know. So Katie, do you want to say anything to the rest of Facebook world before we sign off? I don't even know what time it is.
Well, I guess we'll just
It's 7:03.
we'll put these little kitties up one last time. This proof just came out so beautiful. Like it's just like the interior is just so well laid out. It came out just, it's so fancy and stylish. I'm like,
Kylie
wow.
did a good job. Kylie, if you're watching, you did a good job.
She did a great job. She did a great job. And it was just a really wonderful, positive, collaborative process. And, it's just been great being a part of Fox Pointe, just like everyone else is saying. I mean, Kiersten drags us online to do this, and have these chats, but we're saying this because we mean it.
I'm the instigator of nefarious things. Hey, guess what we're going to do this time?
Yeah.
All right. And so Katie's book is out on February 22nd, 2022.
February 22nd. Yep.
It's going to be fun. It's a fun noir. You should pre-order, which you can do on foxpointepublishing.com. Under shop now, you'll see it. There you go. And then Regina, your third book is kind of in the works and it'll be out in like a year.
Yeah, I'll pick it up after the new year. I needed some space, and my illustrator, he lost a good friend to cancer just recently. So we both have needed space to deal with life stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to pick it up again after the new year.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
You have
And
to feel creative, you got to feel creative. You got to feel inspired. You don't produce good stuff if you don't,
Right.
That's true. That's
Right.
true. And if anyone is watching this, if you're in the Decorah area or nearby the Decorah area, this Saturday, December 18th, Regina is out at Donlan's Pharmacy, at 11?
Yep, 11 to noon.
Okay. And they have their books there, and they sell ukuleles there, and she'll have her ukulele, and because you can play that on her books. It's really cool. It's like she's got it all organized.
You should get some video of that and post it. That sounds amazing.
Oh, there is YouTube of Give a Little Snuggle and the Bedtime Rhyme, but I have to re-record that one because there's some, I have to re-record that one. Maybe I'll do that before I head over to the fans.
Can I put the Give a Little Snuggle YouTube clip on the group page?
Yeah.
Okay. There are videos coming. Besides me acting all goofy at weddings, we have Regina and Pure Talent, which Regina's a lot more talented than I am in the whole music department, probably even, it's just, there you go. Yeah. And then what do I know? For 2022, well, we're definitely going to have a novel because I'm over 2 years delayed on that. I get busy.
Yeah, look, I know I tease you and about that, but I just want to say to all the folks who are watching out there that this woman is one of the hardest working women I've ever known. And
Oh yeah.
she will get this novel done eventually, but right now she's just running a press.
Yeah, I do get
just
busy
a little small tiny thing in an industry where it's very difficult to run a small press and to make a good strong business of it. And I think a lot of folks in a lot of industries are feeling that, you know, especially with small businesses and during this pandemic. So she will get this book done, and it will be amazing when it does come out. And you know what? It's just an opportunity to reread the other two.
Yes, exactly. Oh man, you should. So yeah, Katie and Regina are my alibis that I actually have been busy. But there you go. I've got my Ollie My Octopus book that should be coming out because I think Kayla's going to start being able to work on it in 2022. And then I might just have another children's book. Lots of stuff. I have lots of stuff. I just have to hold still long enough to do it.
I've been working on my Crow novel. I have a Crow noir that I'm working on. And just with little old me, it's been very difficult to make sure that I carve out that time to write every day. You know, like Regina, you know, like you were saying, like you get life stuff, life happens. I lost my little cat who was one of my main inspirations for love here this last week. And so, you know, it's just you write what you can and you do what you can. But you know, we're really excited about putting this out, and you know, just hopefully we'll all be going out there this next year and COVID can go away.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Anyway, and I was also going to point out Regina's book, Give a Little Snuggle, went into the Independent Book Publishers Association. There it is, book award. So hopefully she'll win too.
That would be wonderful. When do we find out? Like what?
I think it's like April or May, something like that.
Oh, they really want to make us wait. I suppose they have a lot to get through, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm sure they do. Yeah, they have a lot of books that go through. But all right, so how to find us? foxpointepublishing.com. That's FOXPOINTE publishing.com.
Because we're fancy.
No, exactly, because we're fancy. Now all the people who are going to be watching this are going to have it like stuck in their head like a jingle commercial. FOXPOINTE.
You know, Regina, that's not a bad idea. Fox Pointe jingle.
Should I write it?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Well, there we go.
I'll work on that.
You know, and we can get John to do some animations, and we can do like a video.
Oh, would that be cute? Oh my gosh, that'd be cute. And Kayla did the
so we're talking about John, my husband, who did the cover. Kylie did the interior, and John did the cover. So
and Chelsea drew the original. Well, she didn't draw it, but she put together the original logo, and then Kayla drew the tea press, teacup press imprint for the kids. That's Kayla's work. So there you go. We should.
Kiersten, do you have the tumbler?
Here's the teacup imprint.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, that's Kayla did that.
Cute.
It's so cute.
And she did it in an afternoon. I told her exactly what I wanted. And she's like, what do you think? I'm like, works for me. So yeah, she's very talented. Katie, what were you gonna say?
I was asking if you have the tumbler.
Do I have Tumblr?
The tumbler.
Oh, yes.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, hold on.
So we at Fox Pointe, since we're a big family, we did a Secret Santa, and I think that was Regina's idea, wasn't it?
That was Regina's idea.
You know, and at first I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, but my husband's like, oh, just do it, it'll be fun. And we're like, all right, but you know what? It was fun, and I should go grab it. I got this wonderful blanket from Paul. It's so snuggly.
I'm so exciting.
It's okay. Well, I've got the list of who, but it's so pretty that I haven't even unwrapped it yet. But I will unwrap it. I got it, and it's just like, oh, that's so cute.
So yeah, somehow I was magically drawn for Kiersten, and she sends me this email and says, please don't send me toilet paper, but I don't know what I want.
Well, I said, don't.
The
don't
blanket just came in.
Well, I
that's
sent her this whole thing,
nice.
but
Yes.
oh wow.
So thank you, Paula, for
Very
this
nice.
wonderful blanket. It has been being snuggled with nonstop since. I need to take some pictures of the animals snuggling on it, but time gets away. But I will do that. But it's so warm and fuzzy.
Kirsten, you gotta tell my person that I'm gone on Christmas.
Oh, that's right. She's going to Disneyland. She's going out to California.
Oh, you're going to California? Where are you staying?
I have no idea. My husband got us a hotel for the first 3 days. And then after that, no, we're going for a week. So the first 3 days we have a hotel. And after that, he's like, oh, we're just going to wing it.
Okay. Well,
so we might be homeless sleeping in our rental car.
Well, if you need suggestions or anything, let me know. That's where I'm from.
Okay. I will do that.
So cute.
Yes.
That is so cute.
Oh, it turned out cute. Yay.
That is really cute.
Yeah, I ordered it off Etsy. So
Well, they did well. I
saw the one with the glasses and I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Well, that is.
That's cute.
Like,
I love that's so perfect for you, Kristen.
Whenever I pick my glasses out, I have to pick it so I look like a author or like I'm smart or something.
You look smart.
Big glasses.
You look smart.
Well, I know you're moving, so I wanted something you can take with you, and John was like, oh, she'll have the books when she goes into libraries and bookstores and it'll be a conversation piece. Like you put it down and be like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes, that's clever.
Anyway, all right. As everyone can tell, we're really good at just chit-chatting over here. So, okay, you guys have a fabulous holiday season, a fabulous New Year's, a wonderful going into 2022.
Go order some Fox Pointe books.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely
Best
do
books
that.
out there.
Yeah. So I don't know what the jingle is going to be yet because Regina's going to write it, but
I'll work on that.
FOXPOINTE Publishing.com because we're fancy. You gotta leave it
I have this idea of the bouncy
gonna
ball
be
that
the
lands
jingle.
on the E.
Yes.
And-
Yes.
an E because we're fancy.
E.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna.
Oh man.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
Anyway, all right. You guys have a fabulous evening in your neighborhood, and we will chat with you later. We're only gonna do this one time a month going into 2022 because we're all just getting busy. And
We're gonna be out selling books. That's
Yeah,
why.
I
Yeah.
can't remember if it's the second or the fourth Tuesday, but I will let everyone know on that page. And there you go. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk with you later. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Happy holidays.